All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? What's up, Internet? Time for another episode of Attack of the Androids. It's been a minute. We actually only pushed out one in October. But hey, it's birthday month. It's Halloween. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. Not related to Androids. So, got a lot of stuff to talk about. Some old, some new. Gonna be good. And, got a little update. Text Secure changed. We're gonna talk about that. Ooh. Signal. Do you hear the signal?
You can't stop the signal.
You can't. I don't think we want it to stop. We just want it to not go to people that it wasn't meant to go to. Like the NSA. Can they stop the signal? We'll see.
Who's to say it wasn't meant to go there?
That's right. All right, let's start the show.
For centuries, we've been warned about little green men. Now, they are coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the Android.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, November 4th, 2015. It's episode 172 of Attack of the Androids. Every week, usually on Wednesdays. attackoftheandroids.com. Check it out. I'm Matt Lee. That's Eric F. What's up, Eric?
Not much, Matt. Glad to be back after a few weeks of rest and vacation and all that.
Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's nice. Joey Kelly also joining us. What's up, Joey?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a brief reprisal up here in Maine from our encroaching winter. The highs this week anticipated in the 60s.
Winter is no more. Come on, global warming. Get with the program.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, last year at this time when we had 1.5 feet of snow on the ground already, we were all going, winter, global warming, they ain't up here. You know, yeah.
That's right. It's Maine. We won't hold that against you. Nick Carroll also joining us. What's up, Nick?
Hey guys, glad to be back. It's a little bit warmer down here in Texas, so.
You're not getting the snow then in Texas. I heard you're getting.
What's that?
You
Snow?
you guys flooded a little bit ago though.
A little bit. But we got better.
We got better. We found the drain plug. Awesome. Well, let's just start at the top of the list here. Nintendo revealing, or already revealed. Is this old news? This is, but it's interesting. Coming out with their first mobile game. Is it Super Mario Bros? Is it Zelda? What is it, Eric?
No, it is quite possibly the least interesting thing they could have come out with. It's called Miitomo, and that's spelled with M-I-I at the beginning.
So not a game per se, but an add-on to their hit console, the Wii U.
Matt, I think you're taking this all wrong. Miitomo is meant to facilitate more communication between friends, getting them to talk about things they wouldn't have brought up on their own. You might dig up previously buried topics of conversation.
When you say game, you mean social network. Nintendo has come out with a Second Life meets The Sims in a bid to save their company.
Well, I don't think their company necessarily needs saved,
Really?
but at the same time, they're getting beat up because they don't really have a presence on mobile, and I mean this is sort of a really weak showing out of the gate.
Well,
It's a chat thing, right?
Yeah, it looks like I had heard it referenced to something called Secret, which is an app on, I guess it was on iOS, that I guess had some popularity, but it's something similar to that. But yeah, it's essentially some sort of a chat social network type app.
It was like that anonymous gossip app that it turned out to not be not so anonymous. So is that this? It's just a bunch of me avatars gossiping about stuff. I can't get into this. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that the more important news, the thing that got buried with their announcement, is that they announced an online account system called Nintendo Account. Because previously, Nintendo's been notoriously terrible about you having an account, let's say on your 3DS, that links to your Wii U. If you want, if I want to be friends with you, I have to get your friend code. I can't just look you up.
Have you ever
it's
tried like read a friend code off over the phone. It's like a giant number. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can't-
It's like reading a Microsoft like registration code for Windows.
Yeah,
Like
it
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like now it's going to be normal, like it is on like PS4, on Microsoft Xbox. Like that should have been the important news, but instead it's like this really stupid me avatar crap.
Yeah, but you don't want to, as Nintendo, you don't want to like highlight something as your most important news that is just complete catch up. Like, come on. You get laughed off the stage like right away. I mean, it's not going to go over well. You'll get 3DS lights thrown at you. Honestly, though, what's the last Nintendo console you guys have bought? Like, did any of you buy the Wii U?
I did.
Just the
Nope.
Wii. And I was
Eric,
never.
you also bought other junk, though. I can't take your word.
He did buy the Cube.
Is it sitting next to the Cube and the other brick that you purchased?
No.
Yeah.
The Wii U, like the only problem with the Wii U is that there wasn't as much content as there should have been. Like it feels like the Nintendo 64 had more content thrown at it than the Wii U did. But as a console, it's great. It's better than the Wii.
That's interesting. The last one I bought was a Wii, but it was at a used game place. But you can like do this whole hack homebrew thing and get all the games for none of the money. So, except they're not that great. I don't know. I can't. Even my roommates.
Oh man.
Use the controllers like they're just dumb. And if you've come up playing Xbox or PS, like that's what you're used to. You know, like Nintendo never should have switched away from that. I don't think.
Well, and yet I bought a GameCube secondhand, but relatively new, and I still have it, and that's still my preferred go-to controller because I got used to that.
But that was also a really good controller design, I think. That was like their last great one.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it was-
I mean, maybe for once in my life I got in on the good tech.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the Wii U game, like the gamepad itself, the thing that has like the screen on it, like that controls like a normal controller. It has the controls on either side.
Yeah.
That's fine. And you can get like I haven't used the little wand thing on the Wii U ever. I've only used either the gamepad or the like Pro controller, which is a normal controller. But like
Can you do that for the Wii? Because that would be better than holding this Snickers bar with buttons.
I don't know.
Or trying to play the move. Like, the move tracking is not good.
The thing that drove me nuts about actually all of them, I think, all the consoles since the Cube, including the Cube, was that in order to get certain features with certain games, you had to have multiple Nintendo devices. And you had to plug it in to the console. Or in like, for instance, if you play... it's a Wii game. I can't think of it right now, but it's a party game. And in order to get one of the features, you have to have another device plugged in and used as a controller in order to see a second area of the map. And it's, you know, I understand this is a game system, and I understand people like spend money on it, but it's not a friggin' Lego set. You shouldn't have to have, stackable pieces before you get to a full experience.
What they need to do is maybe innovate less and make more of a traditional console, because they get a little crazy with their innovations. Like, their GameCube controller, was pretty cool, the one with all the extra things, and it sort of led the way to the controllers like with the the Xbox 360 and the PS3, with extra buttons and features and stuff like that. But then they come out with the Wii U controller that's like this size. It's got a 5-inch screen in the middle. And it's just this huge, bulky experience. When I first saw that in 2011, when they first released the pictures of it, I was like, I don't want to play this kind of big, unwieldy thing as a controller. So it's kind of cool, the little nunchucks or whatever, but their controller was just too big.
It's not Android related. I'll get off the subject myself, but I will say the best thing, one of the best things about the Wii U is that I can. Like, if I'm on the TV and then my wife comes in, she's like, oh, I want to watch something on the TV, I can just hit a button, and then whatever was on the TV gets transferred to that gamepad. And that's amazing, because, like, I can I don't have to stop. I can just continue. I can play. She can watch TV. Like, I think that was, like, that was the premier feature of the Wii U that they didn't do a good job at, I think, communicating to consumers.
That's not at all where I thought you were going with that, but good.
Well, by the way, on this article, I think one of the most interesting things at the last two paragraphs, two paragraphs of this article are quite possibly the most interesting. We have no intention at all to port existing game titles for dedicated game platforms to smart devices, because if we cannot provide our consumers with the best possible play experiences, it would just ruin the value of Nintendo's IP, intellectual property.
So either best play experience or none at all, basically.
But yeah, they're basically pulling an Apple. They're saying if we don't do it, perfectly.
Why don't they just offer a mobile gaming kit? You can Bluetooth pair a Nintendo controller to it. That'll give you the controller experience. You can Bluetooth it or Chromecast it to your TV, which gives you the sit-down console experience. There you go. Like, that's all they would have to do. This, to me, says that they know that those core games, like, that is their shit. That's the only thing they have left to be like, okay, I guess we're bankrupt. We better sell Mario and Zelda now and Metroid. Like, they're gonna hold out on that as long as they can, and that's a legit excuse, kinda. But I feel like they could do it. It's Nintendo, they could do it.
And then they follow that with Nintendo plans to release 5 smartphone games in total by March 2017. So it looks like what they're going to do, based upon that, my interpretation, is that they're going to build 5 dedicated mobile games using probably some of their back catalog of characters, but not a direct port.
And that's what they've done so far. Like they have like this thing called, I think their most successful one has been this thing called Pokemon Shuffle, which is like one of the match 3, match 4, match 5 games. Mm-hmm. Sort of like Candy Crush, and they sort of supplement it with in-app purchases. That's been pretty successful, but to Matt's point, like their bread and butter is their IP. Like they make consoles, they make money off consoles, but they make money off of consoles because of their first-party games.
Well, one thing that
I can totally understand why they wouldn't port their stuff to other platforms.
Well, one thing Nintendo does, and to kind of go off that, is they do capitalize on the IP by taking like maybe hidden or unknown games, slap their characters in it, and then produce it as their own. I think Star Fox was produced that way, and they had a few other games in their lineup that became really popular because they used their characters, but they were unknown or little-known games in Japan before then. So they may have 5 apps from the DNA or DINA lineup, but with their IP thrown all over it, released as mobile games, and then go from there. I mean, if you look at the Kim Kardashian app that came out, that's actually a clone of another game. Like, it's identical, except that they just put her name on it, her face, but like everything and all the gameplay. And the game that it was based off of was a complete dud. No one ever bought it. But put her name on it, put her likeness in it, all the same art, all the same gameplay, all the same dialogue, and it sold millions. So
which version would you prefer?
The Kim Kardashian one. So they need to get Kim Kardashian, Anna Kournikova, and 3 other hot internet stars, and put them on their games, I guess, or Mario. I don't know, whatever.
Or Anna Kournikova. Okay, 5 hot girls or Mario. You have just confirmed your geekness.
Mario has to rescue princesses, right?
Oh,
you see where I'm going there? No.
Yeah, where those princesses all can hang out at Victoria's Secret instead of a castle.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian is at another castle, Mario.
Jeez.
Just leave her.
Just leave her.
So you mentioned Candy Crush. Did you see they just got bought? That company got bought for like billions of dollars.
It's like $5.6 billion by Blizzard, by Activision,
5.6
right?
Wow.
grams if you're keeping track at home.
Trick or treat.
Had to blow that World of Warcraft money on something, I guess.
You know what though? It's gonna end up just like that other one, right? Where they got, was it Zynga or something, or I forget.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of money, and then what happened? That was it. Oh,
Draw
sorry.
with friends.
We actually weren't as creative as the $3 billion you paid us. That was actually all we had.
Excuse me, Matt. I'm sorry. It was 5.9
Oh.
billion. Almost 6
Let's
Instagrams.
just call it an even 6.
Yeah,
While we're
we'll
at it.
round up. We'll grab the penny out of the penny jar and just round it up to 6.
Eric, listen, is there anything in this life or the next worth that much money? Because if there is, I have not found it.
The world? I'm not sure.
The world is
Like
not
the-
enough.
That you would buy? I would not buy the world for that much money.
I couldn't afford the world, so I guess it's a moot point.
Well, speaking of
We are
something
the
you
world.
can afford, and speaking of yet another something that has been rolled out of the Retro Vault,
Bring it home.
Square Enix has released Tomb Raider 2 for 99 cents for Android.
Does Angelina Jolie get like a dollar every time you do an in-app purchase or something like that? Like, does she still collect royalties on that? You think?
I really hope not, because at 99 cents, if they're giving her $1, then
Well,
they're in the
I'm
red
not
a
a
cent
dollar,
every
I was-
time someone buys it.
This predates Angelina Jolie. It's
Yeah.
only when you go to Blockbuster and rent the VHS of that shitty Tomb Raider movie does she get any money.
I never got into those for some reason. I never got into the game though. But 1997, like, where were you in 1997, Eric? Were you playing Tomb Raider 2?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I was. I think
Eric
this would be my
Crawford?
first time playing it.
Eric's brother in the chat, where was Eric in 1997? Was he playing Tomb Raider 2?
Oh God. I fear the
have a-
answer.
Better yet, do you have a picture of Eric from 1997?
Don't do
we
that.
can use for the show notes?
Don't do that.
I'll
10
play
to 1,
like
he's shorter and has bigger hair.
So for $1, you can play the old school Tomb Raider on your device, just like the old Sonic the Hedgehog games, all the other retro games that keep getting new life in this mobile market.
It's kind of surprising that they're only charging 99 cents though, since Square Enix likes to charge $15 for like
Well,
the Final Fantasies.
I was looking through the AOTA stats, and apparently a lot of Square Enix people listened to the show, and I think they heard how much we were complaining about that, and I think they finally listened. I mean, I'm not going to buy this one, but, you know, that's nice of them.
We're here
think
for
that
you
they
people.
Well, I think that they probably looked at the relative quality of the game, and well, no, I mean visually, because they haven't done crap to the graphic.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I think they took a look at it and they went, you know what, this game is 18 years old. It's not going to have the broad appeal that something, say, I don't know, 10 years newer would have, because it's just not going to. So maybe if we charge less for it, we'll get impulse purchases.
You know
Yeah,
what I saw recently? I forget where I saw it, but it was a fan-made trailer for Metroid, which a Metroid movie would be awesome, right? We all enjoyed Metroid. Like, it was put together really well, and I don't understand exactly why they also haven't gone that route. Because even, like, a lot of their main games, minus Mario, but, like, you could do one for quite a few of their other ones, would make great films. And the fan one, I'll find it so you guys can watch it, because it was really well done. It looked totally like I was there watching it like a movie. Like,
Yeah, I know they had one maybe
Over.
a couple. I know they had one a couple days ago with Jessica Chobot on it. I haven't watched it myself, but it's supposed to be pretty good.
Oh, by the way, they also have the original Tomb Raider up for 99 cents.
That's cool.
So
know,
apparently they released that in April.
You know, there may be people who have like the Shield or something that would maybe want to play it on their HDTV kickback, you know, in the recliner or whatever. So
I think this is probably the releasing of this is timed well with the release of Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is the next of the reboot series, which
Good
happens I think next week.
yeah, on the
Um,
Xbox.
so they can, for Xbox. Which I was looking at that, and I mean Microsoft got a sweet deal on that because it releases for Xbox next week,
Yeah.
and then it releases for PlayStation 4 in a year.
Yeah.
So it's a very timed exclusive.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for that one. Although when they announced it, they were just like, "Hey, we have an exclusive," and they didn't mention that it was a timed exclusive. Ticked a lot
For
of people off.
PlayStation 4 and Android in 2020.
Yeah.
I found the trailer.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is so good. So if you have a chance to watch it, I threw a link in the chat, but after the show,
Good.
it is pretty sweet.
Quite frankly, I would think I would pay more for Duck Hunt on mobile than I would for Mario.
That would actually be pretty cool.
That would be, especially considering we've all probably had an emulator at one point and played Mario on the phone, and it's not. It's really hard actually, unless you have a controller.
Yeah, you know what? I think in theory you could have Nintendo, going back to that real quick, make a few of their old games, put them on a mobile platform, but have them somehow integrated. Like there's a Super Mario Maker. You can make levels, and then you could play it on your smartphone or whatever. There's avenues that they could pursue, but it sounds like they're not going that route. Anyways,
They would prefer you just buy their next console.
Yeah.
If you could do that, that'd be great.
I just want to see Mother Brain like on the big screen, on the silver screen in all her glory, and Ridley and that other beast, I forget his name. That's all I need. That's all.
Now, Eric, while you're buying that next console, could you get me your TPS reports?
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? If you have a Google Play Music subscription, you also now get access to YouTube Red. What is YouTube Red? I don't know. You all probably know by now because this came out like a month ago, but it's basically like YouTube without ads.
Yeah. Well, they announced it a month ago. And they finally unleashed it, I think, maybe a week or two ago. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You actually get, if you have if you're paying for the service, you actually get 3 things in one. You get you don't just get YouTube. You get YouTube without ads on any of the devices, smartphones, a Nexus player, Android TV, whatever. And you get YouTube Music, which is videos, in the YouTube streaming service.
Is that what feeds the Play music video section? Like, I never use that. I don't watch music videos, but
Well, there's Google Play Music, but then you can click on, hey, play this in YouTube, and it'll switch to like YouTube, typically like on a phone or whatever, and you'll get to see the video there. So.
Well, did you also see the other service that they're offering? If you sign up for YouTube Red from a oh, sorry, never mind. Actually, this is interesting. The cost is higher from an iOS device by $3 a month.
As it should be.
Well, you know what it is that's Apple getting their cut.
Yeah, 30%.
That's purely what that is. But I think right here, monthly fee gets you access to Google Play Music.
Yeah.
So you have now at that point their 1.7 million or some ridiculous number of tracks.
It is.
Huh?
It's awesome. As someone that's used it since the beta,
Yeah. We're paying $8 a month, and we basically inherited that service. So like I have the Nexus player, and I've been using the YouTube app, and I noticed the day this went live that I've got no more ads. So.
Yeah. So I guess the question would be, if you already have Google Play Music, would you be a total idiot if you didn't say, yes, I will give you $2 more a month and lose all my YouTube ads?
There's no more $2 a month. I pay $7.99 a month. I'm automatically in this.
Right.
I don't pay anything extra.
Is that just an introductory thing, or is that like how it's going to be? Are they going to be like, you've gotten used to YouTube with no ads, now give us money or we'll give you all the ads?
If you're currently paying $8 a month, you continue to pay $8 a month. If you're paying $10 a month or you're signing up now for the first time, it's $10 a month. But we all get to inherit the $8 a month.
We've been grandfathered in.
Yes.
Well, that's nice.
So basically what they're doing is they're essentially giving you a monthly Google subscription almost to reduce your ads in YouTube and get access to the music library. The only thing they're not including in that would be like Play Video.
No, the YouTube Play Video service, whatever you call it, that's in it too. Like
like the Play Store video.
Oh, Play Store. Okay, got it.
Right.
You just like rent all the movies for free included in that price. That would be super awesome.
Well, I didn't think about it, but that could be next.
I was going to say, how long before they offer you a $30 a month service with unlimited music, unlimited YouTube with no ads, and unlimited streaming from the store?
That's borderline the cord-cutting dream that everyone wanted. Like, one or two services that have all your TV shows, all your movies, and you pay like $5 a month for it.
Now, this was, we're all pretty positive on this, but this was met with a lot of like scorn and pissed off people. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about that side of it? Like the people that are upset.
I think the internet's full of haters, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to disagree. I mean, like for someone like me that lives a lot off of Google Play Music and watches a lot of YouTube, it's like I just got something for free, even though I'm paying monthly, but I got something additional on top of that.
Are they mad, though, because they're producers and they think they're missing out on the ads that aren't being shown now? Like, they're still getting some sort of compensation, right, through subscriptions, but
well, that's a concern for YouTubers, for example. If you're a YouTuber, you make a fair amount of money or any amount of money on YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. Is that where the scorn was coming from, or was it from users? Was it like the producers or the actual users?
It's probably critics. I don't know about users per se or like YouTubers because it's still early to tell like what impact this would have. But if you say you have a lot of subscribers in your for your channel, and the bulk of them are using this YouTube Red, will that cut down on the loss of revenue because the ad clicks aren't there? So
well, and the way that it works is, you sign up for Red as a content creator, you are paid. It's not, hey, this person started watching my video. It's they watched it and how long they watched it. So it's sort of an incentive to make good content and interesting content that people actually want to finish. But I also saw it on the other side with users where, like, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding and people thought that they were going to be locked out of their favorite content creators because they're not going to pay, the monthly fee, or they were mad because people like PewDiePie, like some of the most famous YouTubers are saying that like they've entered into deals to make content exclusively for YouTube Red, like separate content, not their normal stuff. Yeah. And that got people all pissed off.
Are they getting bank for it, or are they just?
Yeah, they're getting paid by YouTube to do that, and that's separate from that. But the only concern you would have as a follower of their normal content would be, would that suffer? Would there be less content, or would the quality be reduced? And that's something you would just have to deal with as a subscriber. So,
yeah, I think this is a great idea from Google. I love it. I pay for it already. I would pay extra, honestly, outside of my music to get rid of these ads and all the stuff that annoys me.
No, don't ever say that on the internet.
I'm just saying.
You're lucky we're paying it all.
Okay, Eric was just wrong now. The rest of us would like to publicly announce that Eric was wrong.
We need to hide all the evidence. We need to.
Gonna edit that out.
The moment I said that, Matt like booted up uTorrent just to balance the world.
Take that out in post.
10 megabits.
Yeah. By the way, from what it's worth, I see this as very interesting from a business perspective because I can't speak for anyone else, but I know that there are an insane amount of people running AdBlock Plus.
Yeah.
And
I'm running it right now on this Hangout.
Exactly. So the thing is if you're running AdBlock Plus, you're not seeing the ads. I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking a question. If anybody else knows, great. If not, maybe somebody out there is watching knows. I don't know if they still get paid, meaning the people creating the content, if the video is blocked, or if and we never see it, or if we never see it and nobody gets paid for it. And I don't know that because either way,
in the woods.
I don't know.
I don't believe that they do, just based on the fact that like when all this YouTube Red stuff started coming out, PewDiePie specifically made like a statement telling people like this is the reaction, this is the result of people using AdBlock Plus, is that companies like Google do things like this, right or wrong. Like that's so to me that tells me that it doesn't work.
Been coming for so long, especially remember the YouTube Creator Academy and all of the focus shifting to that. He's just saying that just because he's PewDiePie.
Well, I think it's a legitimate comment because even if the content creators are getting paid, but YouTube isn't actually able to show you the ad, then the ad is effectively meaningless, which means eventually people are not going to...
It's the ad. That's what it is. It's an ephemeral thing that was put in there so that bots could generate page views and people could make money sitting on their ass. People aren't buying things based on these ads if they even see them. It's completely...
And well, what I'm wondering is if somebody was just looking at a graph of ad revenue and they just saw it going, and doing one of these, slowly downtrending, and they said, we need to get ahead of this, and we need to offer a way that people can bypass the ads, and this is how they've decided to implement it. And then they've taken it one step further, and they're pulling a Netflix or an Amazon Prime where they're saying, okay, we want exclusive content too, so that these people get even more for it. Because quite frankly, what's more of a universally recognized name on the internet than YouTube? Name a website that more people know about than YouTube.
Facebook. Pornhub, probably.
You did it.
There you go.
I'll just say this, as far as YouTubers, the bulk of the YouTubers that I follow, or a significant portion of them, because YouTube revenue has dipped down for probably all of them, and for many of them, they still haven't, the relatively small channels like myself, they've never earned a penny from YouTube. So they're going to other models like, hey, here's Patreon. If you enjoy my content, do Patreon. So
all you need to do is do like they do in the games, and you make the ads annoying enough that buying a $1 thing will get rid of them, and if you like the game enough, then you do that. And you get 1 million people to do that, there's $1 million. Problem solved.
I think that's what YouTube's just done. They said there's enough good stuff here that if you pay this much a month, then you're fine.
Smashy
We'll
Road
remove all that annoying crap.
does that. Smashy Road, and then Dead Trigger 2 recently started playing that again now that I have a game-sized phone. It also does that. But all you gotta do is drop $1, and there you go. The ads are gone. So, whatever. Nick,
I hear YouTube Red, and I think RedTube. I don't know about you.
RedTube. Nick,
I think it was really good marketing.
Let's generate some money for Nick and talk about his Google Nexus Player unboxing video.
yeah, so I finally, I finally ended up picking up the Nexus Player. I was actually very suspicious about getting it because I didn't really see the value in it at $100. 8 gigs of storage, 1 gig of RAM, but it dropped down to $50 on like Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, maybe some other places, Target, and so I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and pick it up. Even the controller went down to like $20. I'm probably going to pick that up this weekend, but it's been actually a pretty good purchase. So I did an unboxing video. I even did a brief setup on it, and I'll have a review coming out this weekend on it. And I've been taking a lot of notes as I've been using it. But it's actually a pretty good player, and it's very smooth. And I ran like 4 or 5 sets of updates from like Android 5 point whatever through all the different iterations to Marshmallow, which is what it's on now. And I've updated some of the apps that had updates for it. And it's pretty cool. And I've got the little remote here, and it's better than I expected. I still don't think it was worth $100 per se, but it's definitely worth $50. And I don't.
Is it better than 3 Chromecasts?
Yes, and the main reason.
Whoa.
Well, the main reason is it offers video content at 60 frames a second, not 30 frames a second. Even though it is limited to 30 frames a second on any of the videos that you stream to it. But this here, at least for the local content, I haven't tried streaming on it yet. It's one of the things that I plan to look at. But if you're looking at, say, content that is at 60 frames a second, you'll actually view it at 60 frames a second on it. And for me, that's worth it because it's noticeable, particularly if you're watching someone's, like they're playing a video game or they're running commentary and then they have video game footage in the background. It looks better running at 60 hertz as opposed to 30 hertz. So that in and of itself made the purchase worth it because I was going to get a Chromecast 2, but my existing Chromecast is like half bent. I don't know where it's at. But, oh, here it is. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like bent.
You did not the HDMI extension cable.
No,
God.
I plugged it in the back, but I've got cats, and they're raced behind the TV, and I've plugged into different TVs over the last year plus that I've had it. So yeah, I needed to get a new Chromecast too, but then this dropped to $50, so I bought it. So definitely well worth it. It's still on sale for $50. So if anyone's interested, I would say pick one up if you don't have it already, or if you don't have a Chromecast.
By the way, I saw the original style Chromecast at Sam's Club of all places yesterday for $29.95. So
That's pretty good.
I'm assuming they've got. Well, I mean, if you look at it from the standpoint of it's supposed to be $35, then that's $6 off.
Yeah.
But again, it's the original gen, not the new gen. And I've noticed that before, actually. Sam's Club has a tendency to hype in on names and lowering the price below something and not telling people that it's the previous generation.
Well, we'll say this.
Has a 720p TV and shitty 1 megabit internet, I can appreciate only having to stream 30 frames every second.
Yeah. Well, we'll say this. If you have a
Chromecast, and it works pretty good. It's same glitches as the first gen as far as play music, like being really loud on the first note of each song and weird shit like that. But
yeah, we'll say this. If you do have a Chromecast, getting a Nexus player for $50, in my opinion, is more worth it than buying a Chromecast 2 that effectively is a little bit faster, like better performance, but otherwise and it has a 5 gigahertz band. But anyways, I think the Nexus player is more worth it than Chromecast 2 if you already have this. So.
Does it have
what are you using?
sorry. Does it have a network port?
No, it doesn't.
Wi-Fi.
Wireless only. Okay.
Yeah, and no Ethernet port. It's just USB, another USB, and a power. So like one's HDMI, USB, and power on the back. So, but it runs at 5 gigahertz or 2.4 gigahertz. It has wireless AC. So.
And Nick, what are you using it for? Is this like your main TV thing?
Yeah, I have I have a 42-inch HDTV on the left side, my left side of my desk, and so I watch a lot of my TV, etc. here. But since I'm mostly a cord cutter, I don't watch cable TV, even though my wife does. I like watching a lot of online media, so primarily YouTube, sometimes Google Play Music, and I have Netflix set up here, so I can watch that as well. But I haven't had time to watch movies, so.
Hold up, so you don't watch cable TV, but you do purchase it every month for the benefit of your wife to watch it because she is like, I'm not even messing with cutting that cord.
Yeah, my two sons and I don't watch cable. My girls, they share a bedroom. They have cable there, but for the most part, they use their Roku. But it's primarily for my wife, who has TV running 24/7, or at least during the day, I should say, day and evening. Out in the living room, she watches that, so that's why we have it, and cable internet. So,
Matt, that's what love is.
Is that what love is? Damn, I have been doing it wrong. I'm like, you go on this torrent site and you can download what you want to watch, and then if you can figure out how to unzip.
We have that too for movie night. You can't get everything on Netflix, but
yeah. You can get everything on private torrent sites.
Oh, hey, and real quick, I'll just a side mention. I was comparing the Ouya and the Nexus player because
don't do that.
yeah, but we all unfortunately bought this a couple years ago. Well, I don't know. I had fun with it for the month or so that I first bought it, but I compared the YouTube experience on this with the YouTube experience on my smart TV, just with its YouTube app, and they're identical. The YouTube app is identical on the Ouya and there. And then I compared it with the YouTube app on the Nexus player, and the Nexus player has a more refined, intelligent YouTube app, and the Nexus player is much faster than both my smart TV and the Ouya as a media device. So just throwing it out there.
Now, the irony is that I'm not actually in the market for this right now because it does not support Amazon, and that's my primary content. So if I'm gonna, if I want to pick up a device, I want it to be able to play Amazon, so that way I don't have to fight with it. So that puts me back into the debate of the whole, what do you get to play, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That is sort of the beauty, though, of these devices. Like, you can Chromecast to the Nexus player, and like I was sort of in the same boat where I'm like, okay, this really sucks. I can't play my Amazon stuff. But at this point, I'm just resigned to it, like, where if I want to play something on Amazon, I still use my Nexus. No, it's not a Nexus player. I use my my Android TV, but I just cast the video to it.
It just seems horribly inefficient to me.
It is. And it's Amazon's fault.
Let's bring the video into a PC, and then let's send it back out over the same wireless network, and then bounce it back into your TV.
It's called rules, Joey. There are rules for a reason. It's so the internet doesn't crash, okay? Do you want to crash the internet because you were trying to watch something stupid on Netflix? No. Be that guy.
Yes, I do.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Because you know what? You have to put the internet back on the top of Big Ben to get the best reception.
I just tried searching for Amazon and it said no results found. So yeah, unfortunately, no luck on this.
Amazon, a river in South America.
Yeah.
Other uses not available.
That's right.
Thank you for playing Google Owns the Internet.
Let's talk about the Nexus 6P. Should I have waited? See, I feel like now I jumped the gun. I got the Nexus 6, but then there's a 6P.
Well, you paid probably a lot less for that than you would for the 6P.
Did. I find
plus you have it now, and have had it for a little while. A lot of people don't have their 6P yet, so.
My hands have gotten bigger to accommodate the larger screen, so that's good. I do feel some carpal tunnel developing, though.
That's the price you pay for advancement, Matt.
Yeah, well, evolution
is just evolution.
That's all it is.
I've driven through the carpal tunnel. It was very nice.
I did miss out on the $25 play credit. That's okay. I've been answering enough questions on the survey rewards to have like $30 banked up in there. Except, you know what happens? It disappears. There are expiration dates on those monies, and they disappear if you don't use them. So that's interesting.
They don't offer me survey results anymore, or surveys anymore. I haven't gotten a survey in like a year.
Because, Eric, you've been in 4 different countries in the last month.
I'm pretty damn interested. They should ask me questions.
Which country would you like to be in next?
Like, this guy doesn't even exist. What the hell is going on?
They think you're a Russian hacker named Svan.
Yeah, he's on the run.
But nah.
You have my prescriptions, by the way. So they made full disk encryption mandatory for 6.0 devices. If the specs can handle it, which is cool. Will we be seeing 6.0 sometime soon? Soonish?
Well, the only device in my house that's running on Marshmallow is my Moto G sitting on 4 marshmallows.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
Wait, you haven't gotten the Nexus 6 update yet?
The Nexus 6 update has not dropped, and it is not just me. I should be first, because I'm on Project Phi. I should be first,
really?
And I haven't gotten anything.
That puts you to the front of the line, huh?
Well, it's supposed to, because there's no carrier interference. It's supposed to put you at the head of the line. And
that's what it said?
Yeah, they said you will get priority updates because there's no carrier interference. It's going to, the second it drops, you got it, basically. And I've checked with my buddy Kyle, who's been on the show, years ago now, and he also has a Nexus 6. His is running on, what's he got down there? Houston. T-Mobile, maybe?
Oh, wait. Guess who's getting the update?
Oh, seriously?
No. Definitely.
I have it. I put it. But I did it manually.
Like you all put up. Like, no way, is this happening?
Like, dude, really?
I've had Android 6 on my Nexus 6 for a month.
No.
So I mean, you could go out there and just get the OTA file and update it.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
You know what? I shouldn't have to, Eric.
I know you shouldn't. I'm sorry.
I just posted it in chat. At least the links from Android Central, mainly because it was the first one that popped
you
up.
Whiny baby children can't follow a effing link.
I'm actually holding out for this new BlackBerry Android smartphone.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sure you are.
It should be coming out within the time I can still send this back to Amazon and get my money back. So that was the plan.
Hang on, before you guys jump totally off this, I think the reason why they're doing the secure boot and mandatory disk encryption is a nod to the enterprise world. Yeah. And I think it's a deliberate grab.
Is it because there are so many vulnerabilities in Android that it was just like, something helpful to protect your bootloader.
No, I think it's a nod. I think it's a move to usurp BlackBerry, because BlackBerry has the perception of being a secure enterprise device.
Yeah.
Why don't
And
they just ask? All they have to do is ask, hey, RIM, we'll give you $1 billion if we can just have that. And RIM will be like, oh my, thank God. Here.
Please. What's that in Canadian? But yeah.
1.5 billion.
Yeah, no, I honestly think that it's a nod towards enterprise, because, for instance, if you're in enterprise, you don't want your customers or your client proprietary information floating around on a device that's unencrypted. As a matter of fact, a lot of companies that I know that are in healthcare are mandating full disk encryption on PCs, laptops, and servers. Believe it or not. In the unlikely event that somebody breaks into their data center and steals a hard drive out of a running server. That seems somewhat unlikely to me, but apparently that's what they're mandating. So, I mean, if you're a doctor or a high-profile lawyer, for instance, and someone deliberately tries to take your phone to get at the information that's on it, if it's encrypted, they don't get anywhere without your password. Hopefully you have a good password. But I see this as a nod to enterprise and for security, and I actually, quite frankly, would say this is a good move. And I don't see any downsides to it, with the exception of the fact that you would not be able to recover data from a device that was scrambled for some reason inadvertently.
Well, it makes you have to be a more responsible user at that point, but that's how the security needs to be done. With all of this, like, secret questions and all of this, like, password reset, or not resets, but password, like, we'll send it to you. That just means they have that. Like, you shouldn't be able to send me that. If I lose my shit, you should never be able to send me my password. You shouldn't have that information.
And so, the secure boot end of it, by the way, allows you to effectively, in theory, prevent any kind of rootkit type of key logging, access control, or anything along those lines that would be able to get into the system and start monitoring you before the machine boots,
right,
before the phone boots. So I like I say, I see this as a total security thing, and I see that it is another evolution and an admission of the fact that, you know, these devices are becoming more and more popular, and they require more and more security as a result.
Word to that.
Yeah.
So, BlackBerry Android, are you guys gonna get one?
Heck no.
No, I gave up BlackBerry in 2010, 2011, so no.
Ooh.
I mean, they had their chance 2+ years ago to make a decent, like a really good, you know, BlackBerry device, and they came out with mid-range stuff for very high-end prices, and they've been clamoring for keyboard-based smartphones that the world has largely left behind. So I don't know, they're not trying very hard to keep up with the Joneses. So
Yeah.
I feel like that with this they might be trying very hard, because if you look at the device itself, like it looks like a nice phone. The slide-out keyboard, that's sort of a weird thing, but if it works well.
I have a keyboard for my phone.
I don't see it as being a weird thing.
Well, we don't know how the mechanism is. Like it's different.
I just see that as a nod to the people that want to type fast on a mobile device, and for whatever reason can't use voice rec and want the tactile response of the keyboard. I know I type faster when I get a tactile response, but
if you've been using it and typing on it, like, you should be to a point now where you can pretty much type messages while walking without looking at your keyboard. So,
I can't.
There's a lot of with swipe. Well, not with swipe, but like with the keyboard, Google keyboard, where you slide to. I can do it without even looking.
Well, I switched to SwiftKey too, but the autocorrect on SwiftKey, or the autofill on SwiftKey, is ridiculous.
The prediction on that is so good.
Yeah, it is. It's incredible, and that's what I use. So I guess the swipe thing. I never got onto the swipe thing. It doesn't make any sense to me, because my word choice tends to radically alter based upon what I'm doing. If I'm interacting with you guys, I got one set of slang. If I'm interacting with my photographer group, I got another whole set of slang. Yeah, Nick, represent the Geek Squad. Yeah.
West Side.
If you get a giant enough phone, you will start to swipe because you have to hold the phone in one. With one finger is just not good. So you do a lot of this.
Yeah, yeah. I can see it. I'm just saying I don't do it. So, but I could see how that how the tactile keyboard could work for somebody. But again, I don't know. I kind of with Nick. I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah,
It's targeting. It's targeting the people who. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm writing a book with the Swift key prediction engine currently.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. The keyboard itself, I think it's targeting people who specifically are good at typing on BlackBerry keyboards. And I've met quite a few in the past couple years who were really distraught. Like until the BlackBerry Classic came out, like they were using really old phones because they just liked the keyboard. And I personally cannot type well on a BlackBerry keyboard because I think they're terrible. Yeah. But some people, if that's what they started on, like that's what they're used to, and they're really good at it.
Yeah, I had a Curve before I moved to Atrix2, and I don't have anything against BlackBerry itself. I just think the company they didn't do it right when they came out with BlackBerry 10 and their new smartphones, and then finally now with the Priv, which is what their new smartphone is, it's pretty good hardware, but it's even more expensive than really what it's worth, and what you're paying for is essentially the mechanical keyboard, on top of otherwise pretty respectable specs. But you can find other phones with similar specs for $200-300 cheaper on Android now. So I mean, it's really hard to entice someone for a phone that's $700 that is a niche. It's in a niche market. They in two years ago they could have came out with a Nexus 5 competitor in that price range, running their BlackBerry 10, and just try to flood the market with a product to get more users on board. But they chose to get a more expensive device that underperformed the Nexus 4. So I don't know. Anyway, so
at this point we have everybody's getting one on this panel.
Yes.
That's the conclusion I came to.
Well, it occurred to me, didn't we all say that RIM was going to die like 5 years ago?
This is it. We called that shit.
They are dead.
Dead to me.
Kind of zombie-like.
This is like the Twitch.
That's the name of a new dance, the Twitch.
An application called TextSecure, which was available on iOS and apparently had some sort of appeal for Edward Snowden. Are you guys familiar with this? Has made its way onto Android, and this article says at a time when Google is about to be told that such stuff is the no-no under a reignited Snoopers charter. This is more than a name change. They say the firm behind it, Open Whisper Systems, said in a blog post. They combine the existing TextSecure and Redphone systems into one thing, and it's called Signal. Now, if you know, Signal was what they called the iOS version of TextSecure. TextSecure on Android, Signal on iOS. It's interesting that they're combining it into one where we've previously been seeing apps decouple themselves. Facebook Messenger, Hangouts, I guess. I don't know. It's funny that they're combining it. And I never used Redphone. We just used TextSecure. So to have that functionality is cool. I'll say right now it doesn't work for any of us. It just says network error. And then if you do a key reset, it'll give you a different screen when you dial, but nothing happens. So I don't know if it's not implemented fully yet, or if maybe if you've used it, you need to do like an uninstall, reinstall instead of an update. But texting still works, so I don't know.
Personally, I'll tell you the reason why this app and all the other apps like it will never take off.
Why? Say user.
I can't text my mom.
Exactly.
No, but
because
because it makes it so easy. The beta version, you had to initiate key exchanges and do all that stuff manually. Right now, though, it just knows. If I text somebody that has it, it just knows. You don't have to do anything. It's wicked easy, and that's what one of the things the guy Moxie Spike said was that like the encryption was the easy part. The hard part was making the UI like decent enough and work easy enough for everybody to use. give
See,
it
the
massive.
problem is that then if it has this easy-to-use thing where you're texting people and you think it's a secure text, but it never tells you if they're connected to the other end or not, or
Oh
you
no,
don't
it
care.
lets you know if that person is using it or not. Like there are definitely visual identifiers.
I guess I just don't see the point.
Good, don't be a hater. Quit hating on security and privacy.
No. Not hating on the security.
Yeah, you are. And if
No.
anyone wants to Joey for that, you can email show@attackingtheandroids.com.
No, don't. No. You can email Joey at joeysomething.com.
Joey's PGP key is
joeysomething.com. I'm gonna have to look and see if that's
You better
available.
get that. Get that now.
Joey something.
I don't know. This was just one that we've always liked, and it got perfect scores on the EFF Secure Messaging Scorecard. You'll remember it's open source. People have hammered away at the code, and it is completely good to go from what everyone says. So,
The article's a little weird to me though. Like it makes it sound like you were saying, you could get text secure, you could get red phone.
No, this is a terrible article about it. There was an interesting one on Wired, and the comments were like kind of hating on it, which was interesting.
Really?
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Uh,
Yeah, right here. So the comments are like, it's not as secure as everyone says it is. Is that true? I don't think it is. I think comments are just people like Joey hating on security and privacy. They're saying, okay, but it's only available from the Google App Store, which is most definitely compromised by the NSA. If you were technically inclined, you could build the code from source, which would be the recommended option for journalists. But most people won't bother with that, and they'll just unknowingly install the backdoored version. Ideally, they would offer a standalone APK file, which would be signed by their GPG key, and downloadable directly from their site. That APK would be built in such a way so that other users could build it the same way, and hashes would match up, and you could have reproducible builds. So is that legit? Is Play Store compromised, you guys? Should we be on BlackBerry?
yeah. Well, the BlackBerry is compromised too because they gave their keys to a bunch of governments.
So at that
It's all
point,
compromised.
all you can do is not be the low-hanging fruit. So I'm okay with that.
So this person's linking to an
Joey out there that hate privacy and security. That will be the low-hanging fruits.
There is nothing about me that hangs low.
Well, I say just get it, and if you want to be really cool, do what this person's saying. Just build it yourself from the source.
Well, who's this DroopYar person that's like, the article is 100% fake, Signal is backdoor, ask Moxie to share the server code. He will not do it as there appears the backdoor. Even your IPs is linked on the Moxie server, so he could trace you back. If you really want to be secure, stay away from Signal. If you use it, seems you don't have idea of encryption and encrypted technology. And then someone right after is like, you mean this server code?
Matt, please be smart.
I want to be, but I'm also
Response.
skeptical. And when
Jesus.
I see lots of... Eric, could you do me a favor? Could you audit that code for me?
Yeah, I'll see you in 50 years.
No, I think it is still secure as anything that is secure on the internet can be. So I will continue to use it.
Well, Joey, just going back a little bit, I say that we buy joeysomething.com and then just forward it to your email and sign you up for a bunch of like spam.
Subscribe it to a bunch of spam sites and then like completely send him. That's
Like,
cool.
hello, joeysomething.com. Would you like these pills?
I hate you all.
Blue pills.
4 inches? That's awesome. Like free
Hate you
Subway.
all.
All right. Google's Project Zero team finds a bunch of vulnerabilities in a week of going through the Galaxy Edge. Is that in Samsung's stuff, the TouchWiz, or is this actually just in Android itself?
I think it's for their device, And what's interesting to me, I haven't read this article, but I wonder if they ran those kind of tests on just like on other phones or themselves.
Right.
What?
Like all the devices actually have them. We really only just looked at
Yeah.
this because Samsung.
Yeah, that could be it. So you don't know, or at least I don't know. So.
Well, in reading through it, it sounds like because a lot of the things they're talking about are Samsung-specific clients, like the Samsung email client. There's one for image parsing. 5 memory corruption issues in the Samsung-specific image processing. So, and this is the same team that Microsoft got pissed at, I think, last year. It's the team that they'll find vulnerabilities, they report them, and then they'll either release information when they're fixed or after 90 days.
Yeah.
And if you look at this,
is that not okay? Is 90 days not long enough to fix your shitty code?
There's two sides to that one. The 90 days thing is what they're saying. If you can't fix this in 90 days, you deserve to be told on to the entire world.
Well, yeah,
they have a point.
If they can't fix it in that amount of time, what will cause them to fix it, as we saw with Firesheep, is releasing that shit into the wild, letting it get hammered on. That will make them fix it.
So that's the approach they're taking.
I'm down.
That's the approach that the hacker group is taking. They're saying if we put it out there, you will fix it.
Exactly. Or, guess what? Your shit's broken now.
Well, the other side of that, though, is that now that they've put it out there, they've now essentially enabled the hackers to use what they've put out to engineer a way to exploit it. So they've just made but they've made the chance of the exploit being actually used just that much worse. So the concept from Samsung or Android end would be, we want you to keep this quiet until we fixed it, and then after we fixed it, go ahead and tell everybody.
How about multi-billion-dollar companies stop releasing shitty, buggy code to the public at large? How about that? And then maybe this wouldn't happen as often.
I think Samsung probably does a good job, but there's going to be bugs in the code. It's how you react to it is what matters, and they have multi-billions of dollars, so they should throw some money at it.
All right, well, let me tell you a quick joke on that subject. A programmer goes up to Santa Claus and says, I want to have a year where all my code doesn't have any bugs in it. And he goes, well, I don't think I can make that happen. So then he says, okay, well, maybe I could get a dragon. And he says, well, I don't think that's going to happen. Let me look at your code again.
Boom.
Wait, right, everybody, let's have a moment of silence for that joke.
No, I was like waiting for him to finish it. Was that it?
I think I told that backwards. It was supposed to be the other way around. Shoot.
Hold on. Do you want to try again? Because I kind of, now I'm curious.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, God.
No.
Let me try that again.
No. We're good.
Sure.
Well,
we're good.
Going back to the story, I will say that out of 11 vulnerabilities that they found, 8 of them are fixed, and the 3 that are not fixed, they said were like very low risk.
Yeah, they'll be fixed this month too. So, according to them, they'll be fixed by this month.
So good job, Samsung. You did a good job.
Go you. And then by next year, hopefully Verizon will have pushed them out to everyone, and we'll all be that much more secure once again. All right, well, is there anything else we absolutely want to talk about before we wrap this thing up? I think that's it.
I don't think so.
Quite a bit.
I'm sorry, Matt, did you have a question for me?
Eric, what's our email address?
Well, Matthew, our email address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
Very good.
I thought it was joey@joeysomething.com.
No, but if you were in
That's
the
the
chat,
alternate.
you would know that Eric's brother is actually right now about to buy that domain up and completely troll you. See, things miss out by not participating in the group chat on attackoftheandroids.com/live. That's fine. We're on Stitcher. We're in iTunes. If you go on iTunes, subscribe. Give us a review. Appreciate that. Check out the site and Eric's amazing meme-filled show notes at attackingtheandroids.com. So, thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys probably next month. Bye.
Oh.